Hello and welcome to the Sooner Saloon. We are without Taylor tonight, so it's just going to be Mick and myself. And we just wanted to touch on a couple things with what's going on with this quarterback controversy at the University of Oklahoma. Nick, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. Just a lot happening, like you said. Is it Caleb Williams' team going forward, or are we going to see Spencer Rattler get the start on Saturday against TCU? Obviously, in that first half, Texas is up 28-7. Seems like everything's going their way, and we end the half 38-20, and it just didn't look good. Emerson, what do you think about this whole talk? OU fans have been pretty rough on Spencer lately, and I know you got a couple things that you want to say about that.
So, okay. First of all, I want to say I understand that the expectation at Oklahoma for the quarterback level is extremely high. Probably the highest of any program in the country, for good reason. At the same time, the average fan, no disrespect, but the average fan does not know more about how the offense is performing and how individual players in that offense are performing more than Lincoln Riley. They don't. I don't care who you are. And when you go online and when you're in the stands yelling, "We want Caleb," and trash talking Spencer Rattler on, getting in his mentions, tweeting at him, replying to his tweets and Instagram posts. He's like a 21-year-old kid. And yeah, the expectations are high, and he feels those expectations more than anyone else on the team because he's the quarterback, and he knows he's not playing up to the standard that's been set for him. And Lincoln Riley, I'm sure, has reiterated it to him multiple times. And so to go online and bash him and say that it's because of NIL and all of that, which is stupid, it's not gonna behoove the team. It's not going to improve his confidence, which is what you need to play at a high level at quarterback, especially at Oklahoma. You're not helping anything at all. We're fans. We are there to support the team and cheer them on no matter who's on the field.
Yeah,
and the personnel choices are up to the coaches.
People also forget that we need Spencer going forward. Anything can happen with Caleb Williams. He could get hurt. It takes one bad play. Freak injuries happen. That's part of the sport. And if you don't have Spencer to back you up, who do you got?
Exactly.
He's got the experience. It's kind of unfortunate that it's come to this point. But like you said, he's a 21-year-old kid. When you have that expectations, you feel that on your shoulders. And that doesn't leave you. Also, what he did last season. They had a hell of a team going forward, as in one of the most combined when you take their offense, take their defense. One of the best performances as a season that I've seen in a while. And he was a big part of that. He was making those plays, but this team's just a little bit different. And I know the expectations are up there and it's getting to him. But it's just we need him. And I know he had a tweet, that said, proud of my boys, great team win, 6-0. And people were just bashing him. Like, you got benched, you don't care, you're just saying this. It's like, come on. That's not a true Oklahoma fan right there. You could say what you want about the dude. You have your opinion, but come on.
Yeah, you can say what you want about the team and the offense in general, but don't attack a kid personally. And people were talking about how he left the field early after the win when everyone was celebrating. And it's like, yeah, I don't blame him. He literally just lost the starting job and literally millions of dollars. Literally millions of dollars by getting benched. And he knows that more than anyone else in that stadium. And from what I've heard and what I've gathered on Twitter and what I've seen, he was escorted by some Oklahoma staff, personnel. I'm not sure. It was some guy in a suit. I don't know who it was. But it looked like he was being escorted to the locker room by them under Lincoln Riley's suggestion. Because Lincoln Riley understands that there are some terrible people in this fan base, and they treat these kids terribly, and they don't care what they say to them. And he knew that with fans storming the field that he needed to get Spencer Rattler out of there, because otherwise people were going to say stuff to him, and it could have got, you never know how badly that situation can devolve. Immediately after the game, he was out on the field, shaking hands with everyone, giving good games to everyone. And I don't want to hear anything about him leaving the field early, because it sounds like it wasn't his choice.
Right.
And you don't know what was going on in that situation.
Right.
So that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, and I know Lincoln Riley was still high on him in his press conference. He kept repeating Rattler came in and made the biggest play of the game, which is that 2-point conversion. He was the one comfortable running the play. Williams wasn't. So why not put Spencer back out there? And he executed. Gets the ball to Drake Stoops, makes a hell of a catch, hell of a throw. But
yeah,
let's talk.
They tie it up.
Let's talk a little bit about Caleb Williams now, and what you saw. Dude stepped in from the get-go. I know it really wasn't into consideration just because of the 66-yard run. That's not really what got him on the field. That was just kind of a package setup. He was already gonna be in those formations running the ball. But the way he stepped in the second half was unreal. To come back in a game like this, OU Texas, hostile environment, and to make plays from, down 18 points. There was just plays downfield that we haven't seen so far this year. And it seems like the only weakness that Caleb Williams had was catching the snap. That was the only thing that looked wrong for Caleb.
Yeah, you can't say enough about Caleb and how well he performed in that moment. It looked like he had been preparing for this moment the entirety of his time at Oklahoma. It looked like he stepped in. He understood the offense. Obviously, they're not going to have everything at their disposal in the playbook with a freshman quarterback that hasn't taken as many snaps with the first team. But he does add another dynamic to the offense with his running ability that we all saw. And I agree that fourth and one that he breaks for 66 yards. Obviously he has the speed and elusiveness to do that because there were like 3 Texas defenders around him that had him dead to rights in the backfield, and he was able to escape them and break it loose. And that's kind of what happens with those 4th and short. The defense is kind of all or nothing. Here we go. We're going to get the stop. Everyone's in the box. Everyone's on the line of scrimmage. And then if you do break that, it's a foot race.
Yeah, and it's a foot race in which he won against Texas D-backs, who are the fastest guys on the field, truly.
Yeah. Yeah, probably some of the fastest guys in the Big 12 because Texas gets those athletes.
Right. That's a very good point.
So that was amazing. And then, like we talked about earlier, it seemed like he was willing to put more faith in his receivers like Marvin Mims to go down and make a 50-50 ball. And he was throwing, he felt his pocket presence just felt more relaxed, and I'm sure that has to do with, his mobility and his ability to escape pressure.
Yeah, 100%.
But he was throwing. Some of the throws he made were just insane, regardless of whether they were completed or not. Like, just the zip on the ball, the accuracy downfield, rolling out off his back foot, just 50, 60-yard bombs.
Yeah,
Insane.
and I really like
So,
how you brought up the pocket presence because he was fine. Whenever he would run, he would literally have his eyes downfield, step up to the pocket, throw it while running, and he'd give a 50-50 ball, but I'll take it to Marvin Mims. And I know Jaden Hazelwood had a drop in the end zone. He should have had it, in my opinion. But
I agree.
But that's something we haven't seen so far this season. We haven't seen those downfield passes, and Marvin Mims has his biggest day with 2 touchdowns and pretty close to 150 yards.
Mm-hmm. And you saw the offense start to get into a rhythm and run the ball a lot more effectively with Caleb Williams in, because now, after that 66-yard run, now they have to account for him.
Right.
So I think it'll be interesting. Obviously, it seems like, I don't know for sure, but you would imagine that Caleb Williams will get the start against TCU. But also, TCU runs one of the most complicated defenses in the Big 12, and that's why, except for this year, most years they have one of the best defenses in the nation. And, maybe Lincoln Riley does want to go with experience in this matchup because he knows that, Spencer Rattler has seen this defensive scheme before, and he's played well against it. He played well against it last year and put up 37 points. So, that could be the only reason I see that that Rattler gets the start, which is, again, unlikely. But like you said, it takes one play. God forbid, knock on wood, but it takes one play, and Spencer Rattler's back out there leading the team.
Yeah.
And
I
do you think that he's really going to want to show out and do you think he's going to have confidence after all of the things that have been said to him on social media and everything? Because he reads it. They all read it. All you have to do is search your name, and you're going to find what everyone says.
Exactly. And this is totally different from the whole Kelly Bryant, Trevor Lawrence situation, or even the whole Jalen Hurts and Tua situation. If you're Spencer, why would you even want to stick around for this team if the fans don't even appreciate you? That's my opinion.
Right.
And as in the starting job, I think it's coming up to, are you going to take talent or are you going to take experience? Because I think Caleb is way more talented than Spencer, but Spencer's also won a Big 12 championship. He's seen these defenses. But it is interesting because Gary Patterson is a defensive-minded coach. And he doesn't know who's going to start, but I'm sure he will be ready. He will find so many different looks to throw at Oklahoma, and that's really just the interesting thing going forward is seeing who gets a start, seeing how they act, seeing how the team reacts around them.
Yeah. And, even in Lincoln Riley's press conference, after the game, you could tell he was kind of emotional about the whole decision to bench Rattler because that's his guy. That's the first guy he's recruited. He knows his family. He spent a lot of time, in his house when he was recruiting him and on the phone with him, and he's developed a relationship with him. So, obviously that's a tough decision for Lincoln Riley, but he's also a very intelligent man, and he's going to put the needs of the team first and put the team in the best opportunities to succeed.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is these two are both 5-star guys. They're both highly recruited, both number one quarterbacks, dual threat kind of quarterbacks. And I guess a good problem to have is having two of them. And that's what Oklahoma continues to do in recruiting, is find a way to get those 5-star quarterbacks to come in, even with, one of the best dudes in the nation in front of them. So progressing is huge. And I don't know, it's just going to be it's going to be feeling like a new team if Caleb gets the start. There's going to be a different dynamic and a different energy to this team. So I'm looking forward to it. I imagine he will get the start. But I do feel for Rattler. And we need him. We truly do need him. So
yeah.
We will be making another video tomorrow night on TCU and Oklahoma. It's going to be at 6:30 on ABC. It's going to be another good game, I do believe. So, Emerson, do you got anything to close this one out?
Yeah, I would just say, yes, I understand the expectations at Oklahoma, but also, be a decent human being, and don't stoop to the level of cursing a kid out over a game, because yes, I understand what this program means to a lot of people, but it's still a game. And, just don't be an asshole. Really, that's all I have.
Right. I completely agree. It's easy to get behind a screen and type out a message at Spencer Rattler, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Useless. Anyways, we will see you guys tomorrow. Oklahoma versus TCU. And Boomer Sooner.
Boomer Sooner.
Hi, I'm Adam Murphy, director and producer of Sooner Saloon.
My name's Gabe Joyner. I'm the motherfucking sound guy.
And we would like to thank you for watching and want to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe if you like our videos.
Go. Smash that like button. Destroy that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Go out there, kill it.
Cheers to that, bud.
Destroy. Subscribe. Destroy the like button.